Financial technology is seen as a key component in the evolution of the financial services industry. Dubai is now recognised as one of the world's top FinTech hubs. But what are the key drivers of the UAE FinTech sector at the moment? Well, let's speak to Madalena Rotaru, who is the regional CEO at CAPEX. Madalena, what's the main source of growth at the moment in the sector, do you think?
Well, thank you for having me here. And I would like to say that the UAE fintech sector actually developed a lot lately, starting with 2020 when the pandemic came, but mostly significant in 2021 when a lot of changes occurred, starting from the Central Bank of UAE that signed an agreement with Dubai International Center, and they under a co-sandbox program for fintech. Also, the IFC launched a series of events and created a blockchain week as well. And not to forget about ADGM that launched its annual FinTech Abu Dhabi Festival that more than 90 companies participating in it. So what I can say is that UAE FinTech sector is very well developed currently. And I know that the government is putting a lot of emphasis into creating new word and new strategies to attract more and more startups in the FinTech.
With the growth of FinTech, where does it leave banks now and in the future?
Well, banks still remains an essential building block in our economic system, and it's providing a solid and proven platform for the other layers of the financial infrastructure. The fintech companies cannot actually develop without the traditional banks, and also the banks cannot continue without having a fintech development in it. Banks are subject to strict regulation that often makes it even more difficult to adapt quickly. They have back systems that it's very hard to develop on it. So the new fintech industry came and is trying to combine between the traditional banks and the new neo-banking ecosystem. And they cannot work one without each other. And beside the limitation, the banks have been able to follow the trend, that it's a trend set by the fintech sector, and they modernize their services. And, banks will never die. We need banks, and banks need fintech. So I do believe that traditional banks will remain because they also have their own clients, but they will develop more and more to the neo-banking sector.
Madalena, does the fintech sector have enough regulation, do you think, or could it benefit from more in order to grow?
What I can say is that in the Middle East, they started to have strong and better regulation than they used to have in the past, and also worldwide. If we are referring, for example, to the financial institution, they are very well regulated. And what I can say is that the strict rules also help companies like Capex.com to be more visible, to attract more clients, because the clients will look after the regulation. But opposite, we have the cryptocurrency world that is just coming to be regulated. So we have a combination between the two. In one hand, we have the financial institution that they are, I can say, more and better regulated than they used to be in the past, and with a much higher protection for the customers. And we have the cryptocurrency, NFT, metaverse, and so on, that they are coming from the back to be regulated. And one of the stronger regulations here in the region, I can say, is the Abu Dhabi Global Market, that they put the digital asset and virtual asset regulation in place, but also the IFC. So combining the two, I think it's one of the stronger regulation in the Middle East for the virtual asset, but also for the financial institution. And do I believe that they could benefit even more? So as many companies are coming, the regulation will be tough and stricter. And I think it's a very good way for the customers' protection. And also because companies like us, they really want to follow the regulation. And we want to prove to the clients that they have a safe and trustable environment to trade in this current fintech world.
Madalena Rotaru, really good speaking with you. Many thanks.